All right. All right, something's playing in my ear. Sorry. I thought that was the smoothest transition I've ever made. I just
Very
want to try
good.
that.
Bravo.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Inside All Day podcast, Dames and Dorks. I'm Nadia, player one of the Inside All Day podcast, and I want to say hello to everyone and the panel. We're a little short on the panel today. Both Mags and Lily also have lives, so they are not joining us, but they will be back for our next show. So what I'm going to get right into it. We're going to introduce the panel and then our special guest. So Nomi, take it away.
Hi, I'm Nomi without you. You all know who I am. Maybe not. I'm just going with false confidence. But I'm happy to be here on Dames and Dorks and hanging out with Sassy Sasquatch.
Thank you.
Dr. Rachel. Doctor.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Rachel Lindberg. You can see me all on social medias, jumping into chats here and there. And I'm happy to talk about quite a few topics today with all of you lovely ladies.
And then our special guest, Miss Sassy Sasquatch.
Hi.
Tell the people who you are if they don't know already.
So I'm Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch. I'm the better half of Cannoli Sasquatch.
Yes, you are.
And
That is true.
I started my own YouTube channel about 6 months ago, and so it's growing slowly, but I'm trying to get myself out there, and I'm just happy to be hanging out with you ladies. I've been wanting to come on here since you started the show, so I'm so happy to be here.
I'm really, really excited to have you on today.
Thank
I'm really
you.
excited because I love your energy. So this is going to be a fun as we roast on pretty much all of Marvel today. I hate to
which
say
I
that.
can do.
Yeah.
I can crap on anything. Just, let me know what it is.
Before we get into chat and stuff, I know you wanted to kind of shout out what's going on with our friend Vex.
Yes. So as many of you know on the interwebs, our friend Vex Electronica has been posting a couple of things where she is going through some legal woes with some Canada stuff. So real quick, because I just kind of wanted to give you guys the background. Vex is married and her husband lives in Florida, and she is a Canadian citizen, and she has been trying to leave the country legally for like 2 years now. And so in the midst of doing all that and paying a lot of money for lawyers and to do it correctly, back during the height of COVID, she came back into Canada, and she unfortunately didn't have so she got detained. It was a whole big to-do. She ended up getting to leave and go home. 19 months later, she got hit with a $6,500 fine for not complying for that. So that's on top of all of her other legal fees of trying to leave the country legally. So I started a crowdfunding or a GoFundMe the other day. I think the link is in the description.
Yes.
You said? Okay.
Yeah, the link is in the description. It'll be posted in the chat as well. So
absolutely. Thank you. So I know times are tough. The economy stinks. We're all struggling. I completely get it. $5 here, $2 there, whatever you can give really goes a long way. And so I know she appreciates it. I've seen a lot of generosity so far, even just the love on Twitter and social media in general. You guys are amazing. But Vex really would do anything for anyone. And she has really done a lot for me and Cannoli. And so this is the least I could do for her. So if you guys can find it in your hearts to donate just a couple of bucks and we all band together, maybe we can make this a little bit easier on Vex. But she's really going through it right now. I feel for her. I just want to get her to the States to be with her husband. I mean, I don't understand. Stupid.
And if by chance, like Miss Cannoli was saying, if financially you can't give, share it.
Yes,
share it.
Perfect. Just share it.
Throw it out there. Share it. Tell people how much Vex means to you, and just share it. That way, we can get more eyes and ears on it.
Absolutely. That's the least you could do is just spread the word of mouth. You never know where Twitter posts end up and who sees them. I mean, I've had some bigger YouTubers catch on and share it and shout it out on their streams, which I'm truly grateful for. So word of mouth is really a big deal too. So I appreciate all of you guys in advance. Just, thank you.
Yeah, I know Jay shouted it out earlier because I was watching the stream.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I want to bring it up, Beardo is the first person ever to say my name correct on the first try.
Are you serious?
Yes. He is the first, because everybody goes Jay's way of calling it Nadia. No, and he nailed it on the first try, and I was like, thank you, Beardo. I know you probably don't watch this, but thank you. We're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but okay, so like my real name has 2 letters back to back that makes
Yeah.
it sound like something it's not. Like phonetically, it's spelled wrong. So yours is very easy. It looks like Nadia.
Nope.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah. I don't know why it's hard. All right. We'll get to the chat and then we'll start to get into topics. We're also streaming on Nomi's channel as well. We're simulcasting. Is that what it's called?
That's
Am
the
I
word.
correct, Nomi?
Yes,
I'm a boomer
simulcasting.
by heart. So not by age, but by heart. So I don't know much about technology. All right. So we have our mod king, Mr. Tickle Trunk, in the chat. Let's go down. We have Gravy D. Greetings. I think that's over by you, Nomi.
Mm-hmm.
Phil
Gravy
as
D.
well. Hello, Phil. Shadowhawk, who can't mod for us because he's driving. He shouldn't be driving and chatting anyway. Like,
that's right.
Come on, Shadow. I've done that before.
I do that all the time on your show.
2 minutes late,
Yeah.
typical Vex.
It was my fault. I was having
okay.
testicle difficulties, as they say.
Yes, technical difficulties.
Ladies, you early.
Let's see what else we got. Renegade,
Dengar.
Mongoose. Did I say that right?
Yeah, my psychotic
Okay.
mongoose.
Thank you. Nomi I don't speak English very well, Miss Sassy, so Nomi is the one that helps me pronounce things.
Have you watched my stream? I can barely get a sentence out. I don't understand when I'm streaming. I can't speak. I'm right there with you.
I love this.
And it's funny because English is not my first language. So
Not my first language.
Apparently, it's not mine either.
yeah. So like I'm doing my best in speaking English.
I love this screen name. Mike has bad knees. I love
hi,
it.
Mike.
So do
I love it. So
Mike,
do I.
hope
I
you're
think
feeling-
everybody in our
Mike-
age did.
Mike had some major surgery. I hope you're feeling better, Mike.
I hope it was on his knees.
No, thank God.
Hollywood Scholar, hello. I think that might be. Oh no, we got more. Sorry. Oh,
There's always
Mr.
more.
C. Shouldn't he
Maybe I
be-
should jump into their chat so I look like I'm supportive.
Nah, you're the better half.
I said hi to them before the stream started, so there. That's it.
I have no
It's
idea.
called-
That's sloth.
Oh, I'm terrible at that too.
That's sloth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think
just
any of
call
us
him
speak
Carrie.
that
He's
language.
Nomi, I don't know what's going on, but you, for me, you keep coming in and out, and you're a little
Yeah,
pixelated.
same here.
Okay,
So-
so I'm the problem. Hi.
She's
Yeah.
in her basement.
I know. Manda loves that you already have your tree up, Miss Sassy, which
I know.
I love as well. I would literally have my tree up on midnight on Halloween if Kristen stopped me.
Well, this is the earliest I've ever had my stuff up. It's only because last weekend I had time. This coming weekend, I don't. I host Thanksgiving. I'm exhausted after. Cannoli didn't like it either, but he doesn't put it up so he can
Yeah.
put it. I do it all.
My dream is to build a house that has a closet that is the size of a Christmas tree to fit, and then put the tree on rollers. And then when you roll it out when you need it, and then when you're done, all decorations on it, you just roll it into the closet and close it.
My
and that's
in-laws
it.
do that. They have their tree, they put it in the garage with a bag over it. They do take the ornaments off, but they legit just take it out and have to decorate it and it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
husband
they do it
in
right.
the-
I agree with you.
Yeah, that's my dream. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I would have it out year round. Just no decorations on it year round. Just
Yeah.
a light tree in the.
My
thing.
daughter's
Hi,
had her
AJ.
stuff up since like August, so I don't judge. That's a little early.
I think that's okay. Cool. That was everybody. All right, we got everybody. Cool. All right, Nomi, you're back. You're not pixelated, which is good. Okay.
Yay.
Rachel's not pixelated. Sassy, okay.
Yay.
We're good. We're good so far. So the first thing we're going to talk about that I know everybody cares about, the strike is over. Yay!
Is it though?
It is
It is.
supposedly it's over.
For now.
Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon did a dance in a barn to Footloose, so he said it was over. So now I believe him.
Yeah.
If Kevin Bacon says it's over, it's totally over.
Thank you. Exactly.
Was reading one of these articles, and the one thing that kind of stood out to me, because okay, so here are like 6 things that the actors got in the new contract, which all to me, okay, it makes sense. Minimum compensation increase, okay, cool. Streaming bonuses, okay, cool. Disclosure of viewership stats, that's going to be interesting overall. Limits on AI, okay, this is what I love. Minimum number of background actors. I love this. You know why? Because I hate watching a movie and you can obviously tell the background has been digital people added into it. And they look so like Sims, like clapping and just like, but no facial recognition. This is the one thing I am like, I'm on board for. Heck yeah. Minimum background actors.
And people can catch that too. How many times have you seen on Twitter where they're like, oh, they zoom in on the background and they see it's just a bunch of AI bodies and weird. Yeah, it's weird.
This is interesting too. Relocation bonuses. Performers in series have to relocate for work are entitled maximum benefit up to $5,000 a month for 6 months. Wow. I mean, $5,000, no offense, is not going to get you to, not going to pay for the entire move across country. I've moved across country. It's way more than $5,000. But that's interesting. 5 months, probably on top of their compensation. Plus this is, man, is it too late to become an actor? Is it too late?
It's never too late to chase your dreams.
Yeah. I mean, it's not my dream, but financially, gosh, darn.
It's your financial dream.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Vader. A pagan celebration. Why? Okay. Hey, why not? Do you. And
it's never too late. It's never too late to start a cult either.
Yeah. Oh, Vader has a cult.
I posted on Twitter the other night if you guys wanted to join my cult. I was starting a white only cult after that one woman came out and said all of us white people are in a cult anyway. I don't know if you saw that post, but I said, do you want to join my cult?
First off,
I want to join. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
You're not white though. You're Italian.
I know. I'm Sicilian.
Do they count Italians now as full white?
I think it depends on.
This is a different stream. This is a different.
I know.
Yeah,
it's just so stupid. It was such a stupid notion that she had and what she was talking about. And if you're not black and just white, you're automatically in a cult. And I'm like, you're making no sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
what if you're brown?
But you're not black, so it means
I'm not black.
But I'm brown. But Nomi and I are both brown.
You know what? I'll get back to you guys. I have to research that because there might be a whole nother group for us.
Like, okay, maybe I'm not like super. I'm like mocha, light mocha, like a vanilla mocha or something, or caramel. I guess caramel. I don't know.
I told Vex in the summer I get as dark as her if I'm out in the sun every day. I mean, I'm Sicilian. It comes out. It's just so stupid. But yes, I've started a cult on Twitter, so follow me if you'd like.
I would love to join your cult. I think your cult would be a lot more fun than any of the other cults that have been around, especially like that weird one that just got busted with the Smallville actress. It was like a sex cult.
Dude, I watched that whole thing. It sounds like a medication. You can take the name of it. I can't remember, but I watched the whole documentary on it. Man, I'm obsessed with cults. We talked about this, didn't we?
I love, cults are.
There's a new one on Netflix talking about something
twin
flowers.
Flames. Oh, I thought you were talking about Twin Flame.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, where it's about like, hey, no matter who you are married or have a relationship with, that's not your soulmate. So we're gonna help you find your soulmate, but please pay us thousands and thousands of dollars. I haven't watched it. I just was watching just recaps of like descriptions of it, but I mean, it's on my queue to watch.
Okay, I need to watch it too. I'm oddly fascinated with people who join cults. I don't know why. Hey, Zax.
I feel I would be susceptible to a cult very easily for some reason.
Because it looks like fun to hang out, and then they give you weird Kool-Aid to make you sleep in rooms with like 75 people. Then I might bounce.
Yeah, or they like pass around their wives and stuff, or it's weird. Like I feel like I would be susceptible enough to join a cult, but I would be too headstrong. I'd be kicked out. I would be one of those people.
Or we would be in charge of the cult. We would be in charge of it. We wouldn't have to deal with any of that. We'd order everybody else around. But yeah, cults are fascinating. I'm gonna watch that one. I heard somebody mentioned it last night on like a TikTok or something, and I was like, oh, this sounds good. So maybe we'll stream about cults.
Technically, we are in a cult. This community could be considered a cult.
It is a cult. Yes. You're right.
get-
layers to it.
Can
Do
I
we get
can I just
membership
read this
hats?
comment? Vex Electronica is fine being passed around if everyone looks like my many AI variations of Henry Cavill. Okay.
Vex and I have had interesting conversations behind the scenes about a book we're both reading, which, by the way, Vex, I am almost finished with.
I've heard all about that book, and let me tell you, she gave me an excerpt behind the scenes when I had Beardo on doing a guest spot on my show, and she decided to tell Beardo and I all about this book. It was, oh boy.
I was the I recommended.
No, she said you were. She goes, I don't know how Nadia knows me so well.
Because I keep telling her, and I'm sorry, ladies, I know Sassy and I keep telling Vex and I are twin souls because Vex and I have similar personalities. It's just that Vex has bigger balls than I to say what she actually is thinking. Where
Gotcha.
I don't have filter. I have filters because I have social anxiety. Vex doesn't give like
Nope.
she don't care. She don't
Nope.
care. She'll pull out her wing and just lay it right on the table. Oh, look, my camera fell.
I know, look at you.
Right on the table.
Yeah,
So
no, that's why I have Vex on my streams, because she does not hold back and she's got a big set. I have a good set, but hers are bigger. And so, yeah, no, definitely. But you guys definitely are a little twisted inside.
We are. And
Yeah.
by the way, that is not the most twisted book I've ever read.
I'm sure it's not. Sure,
Yes.
that's the tip of the iceberg.
Know me, Dr. Rachel, I will tell you after because it's not appropriate for it's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate for
wow.
a general audience.
It's
No, you're
not.
going to judge her strongly after when you hear
You
it.
will judge me strongly, but I have a feeling both of you will blush.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's it's
Okay,
yes.
I'm interested
I'll get
now.
messages tomorrow and I'll go, you know what? I don't think this is working out. Just
Yeah, so
like-
I'm leaving. Bye, guys. This is
Yeah,
fun,
bye.
but you're
Peace out.
weird.
I thought you guys were a different kind of group. So let me.
Oh, we're
I'm-
not that type of group. Oops.
No, we
Yes.
are. We are for sure. We're our own little
I don't know.
cult
It's
unit.
pretty tough to shock me, so that'll be
Oh,
interesting.
boy, this will shock you.
I'm a psychologist. It's
That's
really
true.
tough to shock me.
It would be interesting to ask you because by the way, it's a very, very poorly written book. It is not a good book at all. It's
That's
fairly poorly
great
written,
recommendation already.
but it has a lot of spice, as you would say.
Okay.
That puts
But-
it mildly.
But yes, it does, because I have a feeling Miss Sassy knows about one particular scene in this book.
I know about a few particular scenes that made me, and I don't mind stuff like that. And it even made me I was like, well, maybe I should read this. I was like, is there an audiobook? Because that's how I get through books quick. I hit Britney Spears book in one
Oh.
day at work, 5 hours done.
I would not listen to this in audio. I almost wanted to start a book club with a book like this, and I was like, you know what? No, because everybody should
God, do
experience
it.
this book on their own. This is not a book to have a discussion about in a book club
I don't know. You
setting.
and Beck seem to be speaking pretty well about it.
Well, Vex and I also have a thing for Henry Cavill and been sharing sexy AI photos
That's true.
of him too as well. Okay, all right.
It's bad.
Shall we get into our first topic? Okay, so I know we have a lot of Marvel to talk about that I put on. I know also that I'm pretty much the only one I believe that's seen Loki. So we're not. I hate you, New York Times. I was going to share the New York Times article about Mean Girls, but they want me to pay. So we're going to just talk about it. Mean Girls, the trailer that came out. What, a week ago or a few days ago? It feels like forever ago.
It was like a week ago.
I think it was a week.
So I didn't know it was a musical.
I didn't either.
I thought it just looked like a really bad remake adaptation.
No,
of
it is. It
Mean
is.
Girl.
You're right.
It
It's
is.
a musical that's really
Yeah.
bad and not necessarily needs to be a remake. It looks horrific.
Yes. So it is. It's the musical that was on Broadway now made into a movie. But the
Not
trailer
why.
totally the first trailer. I know there's a second trailer in theaters that actually plays music and it shows it's a musical, but the initial trailer didn't anybody thought it was a musical?
A little bit,
Not
because I
until
went back and rewatched it after somebody mentioned that. So I rewatched the trailer and I was like, okay, they did put a couple of musical numbers in there. However, it didn't make me think that that's what it was. I was just like, oh, there's some music in it, but it is so cringe. Let me just tell you, they're checking every box too. I'm just going to say that they're checking every box. And I don't understand. Here's my philosophy. If you had a great movie, even my husband thinks Mean Girls is good.
Oh, mine does too. Thinks it's like a perfect
because
movie.
he had to rewatch it for one of their shows. And he's like, good, this movie isn't that bad. Why take a movie that was done so well and is kind of like a cult classic and muddy it up by putting this stank on it almost and redoing a movie that doesn't need to be redone? And how long? Here was a question on my stream the other day. How long do you think is long enough before a remake or reboot is warranted?
I don't think a remake or a reboot is warranted at all, unless
the movie stinks.
The initial attempt at it sucked. But to be honest, this whole reboot, requel, remakes, sequels, okay, maybe a sequel.
Prequels, fine. I'll give you that.
Prequels, fine. But like rehashing the same story or redoing it and then spinning your own tail on it. That's why I don't understand about Disney with all the live action remakes, because there's still a ton of other fairy tales from other cultures and stuff that you can literally make animations or even live actions about, instead of actually taking your classics that people have grown up and loved and just spitting in people's faces with them.
Right.
Just for a cash grab.
Right.
Yep.
Well, that, and I don't know why they think, and it's not even anymore for a cash grab, because they've lost so much money on a lot of these movies that I don't understand it. Why keep doing the same thing? You know, the definition of insanity is repeating something, wanting a different outcome, and they keep repeating it and they're not getting a different outcome. And so I don't understand what their agenda is. But with Mean Girls, I don't understand why Tina Fey, I'm sure it's all about money. Hollywood is dead. There's no more imagination. They're remaking and doing prequels to things that aren't necessary. And I think it's damaging the actual movie, because this Mean Girls looks like it almost looks like a scary movie to Scream, or like kind of like a parody. It
reminds me of early 2000s like cringy comedy. Horror, not horror, but cringy comedy. Absolutely.
Like or something stupid like that. Yes. Yeah.
Which, I mean, has its time and place,
sure.
But there are thousands and thousands, millions and millions of books, both comics and like you could find stories to adapt to screen left and right. So I don't understand why taking a very well-known IP and just remaking now. If it's a musical on Broadway, maybe, but it looked really bad. It looks awful.
It's not even a good. I mean, from what I've seen, I don't do movie reviews very often, but I do them when I feel like it's something that goes with my channel. I'm going to review this because I feel like it's one of those things where, once again, like with The Little Mermaid, they're just doing it to make a point, to check the boxes, because there's really no necessity other than money. But I don't understand the purpose of these movies anymore. It doesn't make any sense. You had a Broadway run, great. You had a great theater in the theaters. You had a great movie. Why just leave it there? Why are we pushing it more and more? Leave it alone. I don't understand.
I mean, and I recently have seen Mean Girls, and it holds up.
It holds up. Exactly.
It holds up. I feel like it was just like yesterday it was out. It completely holds up. It's great.
There's a funny thing that I was talking about this on Sunday, and I was like, it's really weird because there's this one part where, Regina or whoever, the mean girl gets a pimple. And I was like, it was weird. And Shieldwald in the chat goes, well, the original was fat shaming. You can't do that. So we're going to give her acne. And I was like, you know what? I didn't even make the connection that giving her those bars and making her heavier or not fit in the clothes is fat shaming. And so we have to stay away from that. So we're going to give her acne. I was like, oh my God, that's so stupid. Wow. It's not fat shaming. It's just, why can't we? I'm so tired of not being able to just poke fun and laugh and just like at each other's expenses. That's what it's all about.
That's comedy.
I just don't understand. I mean, anyway, so I thought that was funny that's unless I miss something and they're going to put that angle in there, I could totally see them removing the fat shaming angle of making her heavy and making it something else. But then what about the people with acne who have to take Accutane? They're going to be offended. I mean,
give it about 10 years, then there will be beauty shaming. That's or
so
whatever,
anyway.
skin shaming or something. I don't know.
It's another stupid movie, just a waste of time, a waste of money, just to check boxes. There's nothing original anymore.
But who is this for? Who I want to know who this movie is made for, because it's definitely not made for me.
No,
it's definitely not made for people who are fans of the original.
My daughter doesn't even want to see it, and she's 15. It's not made for her either. She likes the original Mean Girls. I drag her to these movies, and I was like, we're going to see that Mean Girls thing. And she's like, do I have to? And I'm like, yeah, you're going to suffer with me. She doesn't even want to see it. So you're right. Who's it made for?
I mean, I have never seen the musical, so I don't know if this is just made for the musical fans. I've seen it as a screen adaptation, but still, I mean, wouldn't you rather go see it on a theater?
You know what's interesting though? Because I've done both. Like, I love Broadway, so I've seen a bunch of movies done adaptations into the Broadway shows, and I think taking the movie and giving it the Broadway spin with the music and stuff is great, but then taking it from the stage and making it a movie, I don't think it translates as well, in my opinion.
That's
so I don't understand the backwardsness of it. You've already done the movie, you made a musical, great, leave it alone. But now we're coming back and making it another movie. No, just go see it on Broadway. I would have seen it on Broadway in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, I love going to musicals and seeing I just saw the Scream parody musical with Jude. It was fantastic. We had a great time. It was fun. It was making fun of it. I think that's how you do it. I've seen Hamilton. I think it's great.
Oh. You do have to be careful though now, and Disney pulls their crap on Broadway. So my daughter and I went to see Frozen, the musical.
Okay.
And we were so excited because my daughter was obsessed with it when she was little. So we went and saw a Broadway show. They made Elsa as a young girl, the child. Yeah. They made her black, and then when she grew up, she was white.
How?
Hold on.
What? That doesn't make sense.
I can understand casting a black child and a black actress.
Yeah. Yep.
Totally for Elsa on stage, because stage actors, it's a different ballpark.
I would have been a little annoyed, but okay, fine.
I understand it. But because I've seen The Notebook, the musical. Yes, they've made my sisters dragged me to that.
I've never seen that movie, by the way. Hot take.
I mean,
we're not missing out.
I don't think you're missing out, but if Lily was here, she would say you need to see it because of Ryan Gosling. But whoever the character Ryan Gosling was played by a black actor, I'm like, okay, I don't care. Stage acting is different.
Yes.
But to have the difference between, that's weird. That's just
she was a little black girl, and she had the blonde wig on. And then when they did the whole transition, all of a sudden she looks like Elsa from the cartoon. I went, you gotta be effing kidding me with this.
I was like, don't have white kids for the theater or something?
I mean, like,
checking those boxes even on the stage shows. I'm like,
but isn't that kind of racist for
it is racist.
Black but you go to see Lion King. Lion King kept everything correct. I've seen Lion King twice.
Oh, Lion
wasn't anything funny with that.
Okay. All right. Hey,
I can't make this crap up, you guys. I can't make this crap up. I was like, I had my glasses on too, and I looked at my daughter and I go, dude, is she, did she just change from one race to another? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay. All right. Well, I almost left, but the tickets were pricey, so we stayed.
Could have got a refund.
I should have, but it was maddening. And that's when we said no more. I don't trust Disney anymore. I don't even trust their Broadway shows anymore. I was so pissed off that they had to sneak that in there. I'm not racist. I don't care. I've said it a million times, but you leave my mermaid alone. You leave Elsa alone. I'm telling you right now, Disney better make Tiana from Princess and the Frog a white woman from the Midwest, or I'm going to revolt. Why not? Why not? Let's race swap where we need to race swap. I mean, but that community would be offended if the tables were turned. And then,
okay, I kind of want to talk about my grievance about what you just said about Princess and the Frog, about Tiana. You know what would have been really cool about Tiana in Princess of the Frog? If she wasn't a frog throughout the whole movie. That's just me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Thought about that. Yes.
I have, that's one I have not seen. I've seen. I think the last Disney princess movie I saw was Brave, and
Okay.
Okay.
that was
Brave was
yeah.
good.
Princess and the Frog is really cute. It takes place in New Orleans. She makes beignets. It's New Orleans style music. There's a lot of African American presence in there. It's very well done, very true to the roots. That's why I want to see them take the live action and completely F it up, but they won't. They won't do that one. No.
Do you know who has a very accurate representation of fairy tale Disney type characters? And it ended, the series ended, but Once Upon a Time, I feel did a very it was very towards the end, it was very poorly written.
Towards the I bailed. I could not do it anymore. It got so terrible. But you're right. I adored that show. They did spot on. On.
Well, originally it was supposed to be Disney was supposed to do it based off the comic series, I believe Fables, which is really good. I highly recommend. If you liked Once Upon a Time, this is where a lot of that comes from. So instead of Disney paying the rights and doing Fables, they said, no, thank you. And decided just to steal the idea and do Once Upon a Time.
Perfect.
So yeah. So I would recommend it. It's a great comic book, beautiful artwork onto it. There's a ton of them, but yes,
you're right.
I don't. It's interesting to me because I feel this year has been the year of marketing towards women, where you have like Mean Girls now, the musical. Because let's be honest, who goes sees musicals more than women, right? Okay, like if guys like musicals, cool, but 90% of the time is wives or girlfriends dragging their significant other and going to go see a musical, right? And then we had the Marvels, which flopped because it was again marketed towards women. But then we had Barbie, which blew up and was marketed towards women. So I don't know what is going on. I don't know who is in the writer's room going, you know what? Women. That's
dudes. It's the same people. It's the same people in charge of women's health. It's a bunch of men who don't understand women. And Kathleen Kennedy, I don't know where the hell she obviously doesn't know what women want either. But it's a bunch of dudes who don't know what women really truly want, and they're doing this all incredibly wrong, and they just aren't learning from it. I don't understand. Yeah, no, it was false image of women. Yeah, I agree. It was, listen, as a woman, first of all, I could have reviewed this movie for my channel, but there was so much back work I had to do. Like, I did see WandaVision. Here's how stupid I am. I didn't realize the black woman from the Marvels was the same one from WandaVision. That's how brain dead I am right now. Didn't make the connection till like 2 days ago. Hello. But I didn't do enough background work to really represent the Marvels. I haven't even seen the first one because I refuse to see this dog crap stuff. Like, Cannoli reviewed it on his MMM. I didn't even rewatch it to watch it with him. These movies are terrible. I don't know what the hell they're thinking.
They're not thinking.
No, they're not. So that kind of gets us into Marvel. And I know we have a couple Marvel topics to talk about. We've got Loki, we've got Madam Web's, which is another trailer that dropped, pandering towards a female audience. I don't know who is telling these people that early 2000s, like really bad superhero movies are like the in thing. And then we had Loki wrap up. Now they're talking about also getting rid of Jonathan Majors as Kang. And what did we just got? Senor Fantastico. See, I tried to do the joke again. Senor Fantastico, Pedro Pascal
down. Okay.
Announced. And I just I'm tired of Marvel. I used to
love it so much. I loved Marvel. Once Iron Man hit, I was like, oh, I like comic book stuff, because I was naive to any of this stuff. And then these movies started coming out. Then you had Captain America. And then I was like, and then my husband's a huge Hulk fan. Like, he got me into all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, these movies are great. And they were great for years. And then somebody took a big dump on Marvel, and here we are.
Yeah, I remember with Chris and I, we would buy, and this is before assigned seating was a thing.
Oh, kids, sure. You'd wait in line.
I remember Captain America, Winter Soldier. Yeah, he was working and I was off. And I went when the movie theater, like 4 hours before, and sat on the floor waiting to get in, because you want to have good seats for these movies. And I remember how big a thing Endgame was and Infinity War and stuff. And I just feel like
everything in between was the first Thor was okay. Then I haven't even seen the last Thor, but most of the movies, even the first Ant-Man, I love Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd, but I loved all the Spider-Mans. I just loved every adaptation that they did. I enjoyed. I even loved some of the stupid ones.
In defense for Thor, the first Thor was more closer to what Thor is in the comics. I'm not saying it's exact rep.
Okay, that's good. I don't know that. So that's good to know.
And then it just started to get dumber and dumber until the point where he is like the butt of the joke, right?
He's
the butt of the joke.
Like that.
Yeah, he's the butt of the joke for the last Thor movies, but I feel the first one, maybe the second one, was the closest to what the comics Thor is, and then it just kind of went downhill.
See, and I went in, I'm a normie. Like, I just go in not knowing any of the lore for any of the comic books. So I go in and just enjoy it. But now I've learned a lot about the lores, watching all you guys and everybody else in this comic book, group and stuff, and just realizing how they've race swapped or swapped certain things as the movies have gone on. Like within the last 5 years, they've really just damaged it. Do you say last 5 years?
Yeah, well, can I say something that's it's within Disney, but it's kind of been like nerving me. So like, like what Marvel's doing about like feminizing everything, like, women support them, whatever. I really hated the last Toy Story because it was girl boss. It was all about Bo Peep. And what I really, really hate about it is that they made Buzz Lightyear the dumb male in the movie, like doesn't know what he's doing. Because if you remember the movie, he's like, I know how to do it. He didn't know how to do confidence. But in the first few movies of Toy Story, it's Buzz Lightyear. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to take action. He was a man. And then they made him dumb and limp. So that's Disney's agenda, is making
I didn't even catch that. I'd have to go back and watch it. I just remember, was the fourth one where I cried my eyes out because they all almost died?
I gave up after number 2.
Third one.
The third one.
The third one. What was the fourth one?
It's about saving Bo Peep, and Bo Peep can save herself.
It's like when they made the little forky guy.
Yeah.
Like out of the trash.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. You know what? And I'm tired of this all like, oh, women need to be, they need to be the boss and everything.
Mary Sue's.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. Mary Sue's. I feel bad for anybody who's really named Mary Sue, because they're really, and Karen's, they're really getting their asses handed to them.
It's because they don't know how to write women. Even if there are women in the writer's room, they don't know how to write strong women characters without demasculating or knocking down legacy male characters. Automatically, all women characters in Disney either have to be smarter, stronger, which makes no freaking sense. Don't get me in, like, prime example. We have Hawkeye, the series. I saw it. I don't know if you guys did. Chris loves it.
Yeah.
He likes it because it's a Christmas series. Hawkeye is one of his favorites. However, how can you tell me this tiny little girl can beat up Kingpin? How can you tell me, like, all of, like, the size difference matters? I don't care how
that
long
bothers my husband tremendously. He hates it. He's like, how the hell would she be able, like, for instance, in Expendables 4, Megan Fox was kicking the crap out of all these men, and he's like, that would never happen. She's like a $115, and you're right. They make these women powerful, and it's unrealistic.
The best example of this to me was in the last Mission Impossible. There's a scene where Tom Cruise and I forgot what her name is, but she plays Mantis where they're fighting in an alleyway, and they don't give her the upper hand. They don't allow her to kick his ass. They don't. They show that size and strength does make a difference. Now, are women more flexible, able to be more like a sure? Look at Black Widow. Look at other female characters that came prior to all this mess. Like, you can write me strong female characters that cater to their strengths instead of knocking down the male characters that have been there for a long time.
But it's almost like for us to be stronger in these roles, we have to make the men look like crap. Why can't we just be strong on our own or be strong next to the man? I told you this in my Barbie review. I just want a strong man and a strong woman to have a strong partnership, and that's it. Why can't we be strong together and strong individually without having to make one look like crap in order to build yourself up? And that's what these movies are doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To me it would be more sense in a sense. I was talking about this earlier of having in a sense like the old Robin Hood movies where Robin Hood was always a strong male character, but then you have Maid Marian who was a strong female character in her own rights too. And they were both heroes in their own rights, but they had strengths. But Maid Marian never knocked down Robin Hood or like showed him up or anything. She used her abilities to what she could do to accomplish things. And I don't know where we lost that notion in writing.
Well,
I don't
and,
get it.
and also, why can't we build each other up? Like, why can't the male character build up the female, and vice versa? Why can't we cater to each other's strengths? Hi, Lily.
Hey, Lily.
Hey, Lily.
I don't know,
Hello.
like, but they're also trying to damage all of that too. The whole bond of a man and a woman. It's like one has to be better than the other. You can't be strong together. There's nothing sexier than a man and a woman kicking ass together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Even
And
if it was not a great movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a
I was gonna say
example.
I was just to say that. I was just to say that.
Yep.
Why
This is not necessary. We didn't ask for this. Why are you giving it to us?
Yep.
Yeah. But
That's
I'm
exactly
afraid
it.
the new generation of women that are growing up that like it in a sense it's a ego thing that we're raising women to believe like they're superior in all ways and every way, and they don't have to work to show best. They don't have to study, they don't have to train, they don't have to this. Automatically we're better right off the bat. We don't have to do any of that stuff.
But
And
what's
I feel
going to
bad.
happen when they get older?
Yeah, and I feel bad
They're-
for little boys that are
Yep.
taught that girls are better than them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Dr.
tired
Rachel,
of that.
what do you think from your background with what's going on?
It's a lot. Like we're already seeing this play out with my generation, with millennials, where we're taught like, when we were younger, you can do anything, you can be anything, you just have to work hard. Everyone's paving the way for you and everything like that. And then it just got to the point of like, oh, well, you can do anything, you can be anything. And year after year after year, we keep hearing that. And then we get to be adults and we can't do that. And we're also seeing it with the next generation of like, oh, don't worry, like a lot of hand holding. I'm seeing a lot of helicopter parents. I'm seeing a lot of like teens and young adults now who don't know how to take care of themselves. Like I have college students now. Most of them don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to do their own laundry. They can't cook for themselves. And so all these things that we keep telling kids, they're growing up not knowing how to do anything. So what do you think is going to happen to this next generation where like girls are the best, they're superior, men suck. We have to, tear them down and give their masculinity to women. And by the way, we don't even know what a woman is anymore. The lines are so blurred that people are going to be growing up confused as hell about everything. We're just going to see this pattern keep going as people get older. And it's frustrating for me. And it's frustrating for all of you, I know too. And a lot of people in the chat. It's so ridiculous that like we're just seeing it again and again. And because of mass media, because of all these movies that are pushing these ideas of like women are the bestest ever and men are terrible, that's going to be even worse for relationships as adults. It's going to be worse for movies as adults. It's going to be worse for people just trying to be adults when they get older. It's so terrible. And like as a teacher, I see that with like every next class of students. I get more and more who don't know how to take care of themselves. And I'm worried about like, movies like The Marvels and Mean Girls coming up, like we were talking about, and all these other movies, like you were talking about Bo Peep and Toy Story 4, all these movies that are pushing these, unrealistic expectations on both boys and girls. When they become college students, I can guarantee they're going to be even worse off and even more confused. And I'm worried that that's going to push gender equity and whatever politics into greater prominence. They're going to be like, oh, well, we tried to make everyone trans and we tried to make everyone question their sexuality and gender. And now as adults, like 20 years from now, they're not going to know who they are. And so we should push it even harder in the next generation. It's it's a never-ending cycle, and it's rough to see.
Well, you
Yeah,
know what?
I can't imagine it. And like, my question for you, Miss Sassy, because you have a teenager.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, she's dating probably. You probably want her to find somebody who will provide for her, protect her,
Well-
all of the things that men are good at. How can you
Mhm.
expect that in a generation of men who are raised to basically bow down to women and be feminine themselves in a way as well? It portrayed
Yeah.
on all media as well. It's very hard to find a very strong, I hate to use the word alpha male, but very like an alpha male type of character in media nowadays.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, but she definitely okay, so yes, my daughter's 15. She's not really dating, she's not really kind of out in the social scene because my daughter does kind of like what I worry about with what Dr. Rachel was saying. My daughter does have a lot of mental health issues. She's got severe OCD and severe OCD and anxiety, autistic tendencies, a tic disorder, mood disorder. So
Mhm.
she's been suffering since she was 9. So our dynamic is a little bit different. However, she did get hit with the gender ideology and, she went through everything that, like Dr. Rachel said, kids can get susceptible to watching social media and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So my advice is, as a parent, this is the hardest time to be a parent. It's the absolute hardest time to be a parent
Mhm.
because they're parents raising these little sissy boys who couldn't even go fight for our country if we needed them to. And then, my daughter is one of those, Dr. Rachel, where I do worry about her not being able to take care of herself for other reasons, but
Yeah.
the society we're living in doesn't make it any easier,
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
So I have to say, as a parent, like, I stuck with my kid when she wanted to change genders. I knew it wasn't right. I knew that's not what she wanted. So I supported her. Anyway, long story short, pay attention to what your kids are saying. Make sure that, you talk to them and educate them, because my daughter thinks a lot like Cannoli and I. She doesn't give in to all the BS. She knows a strong woman's important, a strong man's important. Me and her dad have been married almost 20 years. She sees that. So my advice to you guys is just set a good example for your kids, because it's really, really tough out there, and just give them all the information you can and try to guide them in the right direction, because you're right. This society is overpowering and it will slap your kids in the face. So
Yep.
just be careful, because there's a lot of crappy messages out there, but even my daughter can see through it because I've given her the tools. She doesn't have to, but give your kids the right tools and hopefully they make their own decisions. But it is tough. It is really tough to keep your kids on the right path. But no, she hasn't found any good guys yet, because they all are like, when she was going to school in person learning, I saw all these boys and I'm like, oh God, they're not the boys that we went to school with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could not imagine dating. I'd be
Right
a
now
cat
it's
lady.
hard.
I'd be
It's
a cat
hard.
lady.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. I'd just be a cat or dog lady. Like,
No, and she's not interested in all that. Like, she likes boys and all that stuff, and she'll talk, but she doesn't. Let me tell you one thing about my kid, which I do love. Yeah, I'm talking about you. She doesn't put up with any shit from anybody. She's
that's
like,
good.
Good.
she's like, you want to talk to me like that? See, like, she doesn't bend the knee for anybody. She is like,
Good.
she's a strong, independent girl and doesn't think she needs a man for anything. But at the same time, she would like a nice, strong man and understands she'll be a trad wife. Don't worry. She will. She'll be traditional. I'll make sure of it. But
that
it's hard.
brings up the fact that the Marvels just had one of the worst weekends in box office. I think they have worse weekends
Congratulations.
than The Flash, too, I believe. We don't have Mags on today. Mags is usually our box office number person. She
Here, I'll
knows.
say it for you. The movie was crap. It didn't make
did
any
you see
money. No, I'm just summing up what everybody else is saying.
Oh.
No, I saw The Flash, but I did not see this because I couldn't bring myself to see it. I haven't seen the first one. I haven't seen anything surrounding it. I'm not familiar with the character, so I just didn't feel like it was in my best interest.
Still mad at Marvel for duping me into seeing Captain Marvel, because it was all hyped up that you have to see this before Endgame. You have to see it. Absolutely, you got to see it. and I hated that movie so much.
Hmm.
It was so badly written. It was so poorly acted. The CGI was bad. The cat thing was stupid. Like, it just 9 out of 10. Oh, see,
There
Meg's in
she
the
is.
chat. Yeah, 47 million. Holy cow!
Yep.
But
And I
mean,
did see
feel
The Flash, so I can't imagine something that was worse than The Flash. That's bad.
well.
That's
I
bad.
don't. The box. I think it's because the Flash had negative hype around it. Everybody wanted to see this movie because of all the issues with the star, and then all the issues with the reshoots, and then
I
with
wanted to
DC.
see Michael Keaton. That's the only reason I
Well,
went.
that too, Michael
Yeah.
Keaton as well. So there was a lot of things around it making people go like, you know what? Let's, we got nothing going on Thursday night. Let's go see the Flash.
Mhm.
The Marvels, though, like I remember you had to sit at your computer like a few minutes before tickets went for sale for any Marvel movie, and you had to be fast and lucky if you got seats. I was looking, there was no sold out showings in my area whatsoever for this movie. And I feel bad because I didn't see the Miss Marvel series, but I know the actress is one of the shining things about
She's getting
this
a lot
movie.
of praise. A lot of people
and
are saying great
she's
things
very
about her.
young. She's very young. I mean, at that age, you get a lead role in a Marvel series, no matter how well it does, and plus in a Marvel movie. I mean, kudos for her. I feel bad for her because a lot of this bad press is falling, onto her. But I had no interest to see this movie whatsoever. When it was announced, I think Brie Larson has some good movies under her belt, but this is not one of the characters for her.
Mm-hmm.
She is so hateable. I mean, I've never looked at somebody's face and just wanted to punch her right in the nose. Like she's just got this nasty demeanor. And I also think it's that clip of her going, well, are you going to do another movie? Well, do they want me to? Do they want me to play her again? It's like, ew, you're so gross.
I really liked her in The Room. I thought that was Room.
I need to see that. I've heard great things about that as well. And she was good. I mean, we just rewatched Scott Pilgrim for Panelist.
I was going to say, yeah, Scott Pilgrim.
I was like, that's her? I didn't even know that was her. So,
and I also give them a little bit of empathy because a lot of what comes out of their mouths and stuff is from the studio. That, the studio heads are like, you have to present yourself this way. You have to say stuff like this. You have to be pro this. You have to be this. Now, only a little bit of empathy, because if I was in that position, I'd be like, no, I'm going to speak my mind for how I feel and stuff. And if I get canceled, I get canceled. But you're right. She looks miserable. And any of the trailers I've seen for this movie or reviews, she looks unhappy.
She's playing herself. She looks like a miserable little, and she looks like she's literally playing herself. You never see her smile. She looks like she has resting bitch face all the time.
Yep.
Yes.
And all the homework you had to do to see this movie.
That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, but then I watched Neurotic's review, Gary's review on it, and he said, look, you didn't need to watch any of this stuff to see this movie.
Well, damn it, I could have gotten my channel into monetization if I would have seen it. I'm this close.
I'm tired of them taking C and D listed characters, race swapping them, gender swapping them, and then expecting them to be big hits like Captain America or Iron Man or Black Widow, like the core group of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, if I was Marvel, I would be like, listen, we're going to take off like 2 years. We're going to regroup. We're going to figure out what's wrong. We're going to come back. Feige, whatever his name is. He's going to retire. He's going to retire. He should have retired after Endgame. I'm sorry. He should have done like, you know what? 10 years under my belt. I did it. I'm out. Like, retire and then come back with a strong Fantastic Four and a strong X-Men. But here we are.
Of which, what do you think about that casting of
Pedro Pascal?
Oh boy.
I don't. You know what?
Tell me real quick, because I try really hard. The original movie with Jessica Alba, who played Pedro's role?
I can't remember his name. It's a hard name to pronounce.
Do we know him?
2005. I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Do you know the comic? Does he resemble the comic Pedro, or is that another like weird adaptation of the character? I wish I knew more about comics. I got to get on it.
So my whole theory on this is that they're going to focus on Sue Storm. They're going to focus to make it a female
Which
centric.
was Halle Berry, right?
No, the rumor for this one is
No, she
Vanessa
played
Kirby.
her
Oh,
in the beginning, the first one.
Jessica Alba. Yes.
Okay.
In the original. I'm trying to Ian Gruffitz.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
I guess that is kind of like hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think this is my theory. They don't really give a shit about the four of them. They don't care.
Yeah.
They're going to, and also, by the way, Pedro's pretty old. Listen, I get it. People call him daddy, but he's pretty old. Okay.
Mhm.
He's pretty old if they want to have a couple years of Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
So my theory is they're going with an older casting for it because they're going to focus more on Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic's kids who are in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Because they got, and I know before anybody comes for me in the chat, I understand they've never been part of the Young Avengers, but this whole movement towards a younger look to Marvel. That's my theory, is that we'll get one Fantastic, maybe two Fantastic Four movies with an older group, and then they're going to move it to be more focused on the two kids.
And who are the kids in it?
No, there's no kids casted for it.
Oh.
But I'm saying eventually what happens is
there's kids in the comics though?
They get married, they have kids who have abilities too. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's my theory. But there are so many other good actors that could have taken this role, but I have a feeling like nobody wants it.
And they're only casting him because I've heard that it's because he's popular right now and he'll get people to the movies. It's not really that he'd be best for the role, but he's a name.
But nobody else wants it. I mean, there were so many names that have gone through. Adam Driver, who played John Krasinski, who I think should have just continued playing.
Yes, because didn't he make a cameo in some movie as that
Doctor Strange
on one of the worst movies out of the phases? Yeah,
I didn't see that one, but he would be. I like him. I'm sorry. I think I would like him.
He's a good-looking guy.
I mean,
he's a good actor.
Part more. So, I mean, I don't want to knock Pedro for if he accepts this. That's fine. A lot of people had a problem with Paul Rudd being Ant-Man. A lot of people had a problem with Chris Pratt being Star-Lord. All the castings.
I
for
love
these
both
heroes,
of them. So.
Yeah, all these castings always go through it. I just think that it's to me, it's going to be either nobody wanted it or people were approached and they're like, seeing the state of Marvel.
What's the reason for this though? Like, why are we doing a Fantastic Four movie? You're right. Is anybody really invested that much in that comic? Like, is this something that needs to be done?
The Fantastic Four is the royal family of Marvel, I would say. It is one of the first families. It's the first family of Marvel. I call it the royal family. It's
interesting. Okay.
Of Marvel. It's been such a popular comic series for such a long time. The movie, even the really bad early 2000 movies and the remake and stuff. It's I don't know why it has been very hard to make a movie out of this.
Okay.
I have no idea why, but I think it leads also into one of the bigger aspects of Marvel that people have been waiting for, and it's the mutants, X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I do like the X-Men. I've seen all that. Okay, all right.
Yeah, which I'm also
does that lead into that then? The Fantastic.
I assume so. Okay. I know the spoilers for anybody who wants to see the Marvels. You got 3, 2, 1. I guess the end credit scene shows.
We've all seen it on Twitter. It's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. What's ends up in a different timeline. Timeline, planet, whatever. I don't know. They can't get their shit straight. Is it a different timeline? Is it a different planet? Like, what is it? A different dimension? Like, they can't get their shit straight. Anyway, she ends up and the Beast shows up, and I guess this is a prelude to the X-Men. Okay. Fantastic Four usually mixes with it, so I don't know.
All right. I didn't know that. Okay.
I will be very intrigued to see how they cast the X-Men and who they decide to go with, and then. Because the X-Men are very diverse characters.
Yeah.
So you can have diverse cast for X-Men. You don't have to race or gender swap them, but I'd be curious to see if they do. Like, do we get a female Wolverine?
Female everything.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, and it's going to be
Wolverine.
it's going to be X-women because X-Men you can't
Or
have
X-people.
that. X-people. You're right. Sorry, X-people. You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, and they F everything up that they do. Like everything that comes out, you guys, now we go, oh, that's going to be a good movie to trash. No more. There is not a movie right now, unless I'm forgetting something, that I can't wait to see.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that.
I don't
this
know,
weekend.
man. I know. My daughter would see that. That's a little too gory for me. But yes, I get what you're saying. But like, because Dune got pushed back, that was supposed to come out like right around this time.
Well, no offense to Warner Brothers, I would have pushed it back too. They made a hell of a lot of money on Barbie. Dune 2 is going to be a winner no matter what. So might as well push it back to, I think it's Q1 or Q2, and then make your money. I mean, at this point.
But what is what are like
Aquaman is the next one.
Oh boy.
I'm so thrilled for that one.
I know
that trailer looks terrible.
It looks awful. Absolutely horrific. Oh, I know what movie looks good coming out. This is what made me think of that is that Aquaman had this ginormous budget, right? And then you've got that Godzilla movie coming out that was done for half the budget. And Cannoli was showing me the scene last night up close of Godzilla in the water. And I was like, it was so well done. That movie's so yes, we might go see that one now that I think about it. But he was comparing that to Aquaman and the budget and what we had to work with versus them, and their movie looks so. But other than that,
scale down these budgets. Stop with this fucking CGI. I'm tired of actors being on green screens, and like I understand when it's needed, but stop making 99% of your movies shot on a stage or in a green screen. Start giving people jobs to be location scouters again. Start having people look. I mean, one of the reasons why I really loved the D&D movie this year is because it was shot on location.
Oh, I heard that was great, actually. It was shot on location. I know nothing about it, but I heard that it was actually what happened was with that movie is the marketing
was horrible. As a D&D nerd, yes. As a D&D nerd, both Chris and I are like, oh great, another cruddy D&D.
They could have wrapped me in if they would have done it better, but even Cannoli was like, this actually isn't as like it's better than they marketed. Like they really should have built it up more. That's what I heard about that movie.
Positive storyline about fatherhood in there and family.
Oh, that's why they didn't promote it. There you go.
Non-political, very non-political. Yeah. And I love that movie. Great rewatch value. But they shot a lot of things on location. They also built a lot of the costumes and the puppets and stuff like that. So it wasn't CGI'd into it. That's another thing I liked about Five Nights at Freddy's. I know it's a mixed bag for people, but I'm a Five Nights at Freddy lore gal. I love the lore behind it. I thought the Jim Henson puppets for it looked great. Instead of CGIing these animatronics, having them actually built in person looked fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. And the detail of the animatronics were pristine. It was great work. Like use people who have great creativity, great talent to put those in movies. That's all we have.
And I don't know where they have these huge budgets. Like, I don't know. I'm going to bring it back to this because I've seen this recently and it sticks out. The Expendables 4. I love a good dumb action movie. The CGI in that was so noticeably terrible. When Jason Statham was coming out of the top of a Jeep, you could tell that it was green screened. It was so bad. It took me out of the movie. It took me out of the movie. It was awful.
Which
absolutely horrific.
Doesn't make sense to me because I recently just watched for the first time True Lies. And I know there has to be some CGI somewhere in there, but I will tell you, I could not point it out for the life of me.
Nope. It was so well done.
It's so well done. And I'm like, go back to doing movies like that. Having worked in Hollywood, when I was working in Hollywood, it was a consensus of this is a dream job. This is to be creative. This is to come together and put something beautiful together and put something artistic together. Now I feel the motive is no longer, hey, I want to do something fun and artistic. It's no, I have an agenda. I want to, put put myself in this or push my politics instead of just like, hey, let's create puppets. Let's
What's
put
best for
together
the
a horror
industry.
movie.
No,
Let's
yeah.
let's cater to the fans. Let's really put something magical together. And I feel movies have really lost their magic.
They're lazy. They're lazy.
Yes.
It's unimaginative. They're just throwing garbage. They're throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks. Nothing is sticking. And I don't know what they keep doing, but you're absolutely right. There's so many talented people out there that can build some amazing things and, do some amazing stuff, what have you. But they keep going back to this really crappy CGI where you could just see through it. I've heard great things about One Piece. Yeah.
One Piece is great. I thought One Piece was fantastic, and I've never seen the anime or read the manga, but I thought from a newbie's point of view, great storytelling, pacing was great, the costumes, everything was great, and it worked.
Yeah. Yep. I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense, but I don't think Marvel's going to learn. So what's the next Marvel movie coming? Oh, so Aquaman? No,
that's DC.
Aquaman's DC, which is another whole shit show.
Well, that brings us to our next topic, because
you're welcome for the segue, my friend.
I know we're not going to talk about Loki because I'm the only one that saw it, and having one opinion's not that great. I mean, I thought it was okay for a second season. I thought the last episode was the best. Visually, it was cool, but I also thought Tom Hiddleston's getting up there, man.
Is he?
If you look at the first Thor and then compare it to now, because I was watching a video of comparison, I'm like, look how smooth and baby skin he was. And then you look at Loki now and I'm like, dude, he is getting up there in age. Kudos to him, man. I'm all for, but like, dude, all right. So the MCU now reportedly is backing away from Jonathan Majors.
What did he do? I haven't heard.
What's going on? What's the team?
I mean, I know he's going to court. Did he go to court and was it guilty? Like, I have not heard a single thing about his court hearing.
I don't know.
What happened to be innocent till proven guilty?
Oh, they threw that out the window. Everybody's guilty now.
I think there was like a string of text messages like he posted on his social media, and his lawyer's like, why did you do that? Because that's actually indicating that you did do this crime, like this aggressive thing that you did to your previous girlfriend. So it looks like it's pointing out that he is at fault of whatever crime he had against his girlfriend. I think it was domestic violence. But that's the reason why MCU is stepping away, because like, well, we can't really associate ourselves with you because it looks like you're guilty of it, dude.
But it makes no sense because the last episode of Loki basically sets up Kang to be the big baddie coming in and coming to destroy everything or whatever he does. And this, I don't know how they're going to walk this back. They should have went with Doctor Doom to begin with, to be honest, definitely. In my opinion, because if they're going to move forward with Fantastic Four, it would make the most sense. But I never understood Kang as to me in the comics, King is not as a big of a baddie as our purple dude. I can't even
Thanos?
think now. Thank you. Our purple dude. Everybody knows who it is.
Purple dude.
Yeah, the purple dude. Yeah. So this, and it's, I like Jonathan Majors. I think in Ant-Man it was no point in having him in there. I think he's a very talented guy. I liked him there's a series called Lovecraft County on I think it's HBO, where he's the lead in it, which I think has 2 seasons, which is great. But yeah, man, this Marvel is in trouble.
Yeah.
Now they have to retcon everything. But they've been constantly retconning things, so I don't know what they necessarily need to retcon. I wonder if we're going to move over to a different timeline, planet, existence in the universe, and then reboot it with Fantastic Four and the X-Men.
That would make more sense. Get away from all that garbage. I don't know.
What do you guys think? Know me, Dr. Rachel?
I don't have a lot of thoughts on that. It's just okay,
it's fine.
No, I'm just like tired of it. I'm tired of like what Marvel's doing. I'm actually starting to feel Hollywood fatigue. It's not like comic book fatigue. It's not about the
No.
actors. It's Hollywood. I'm just dead ass tired of it. It's the same repetitive thing that we know we're going to get in all the other Marvel movies, DC movies. And it's not what we crave. It's not what we're looking for. It's like you said it earlier, like, hey guys, we have these creative talents. Let's just work together and channel something that can make them something great. There's no creativity in Hollywood anymore. There's no storylines. The only one I'm probably looking forward to, it's next year, like not only Dune, but Argyle. That looks great. I'm looking forward to that one. Not because of Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
But yes.
Sure you are.
Sure.
Oh, if he's in it, I'll go see it. I don't know what it's about, but if Henry Cavill's in it, I'm there. All right.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer and that honestly looked like a lot of good fun.
Yes.
Is Argyle?
Oh, yes. Wait, is that the one where he
with the bad haircut?
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one where the girl writes the book?
Yep.
And he's oh yes, that looks
she writes the book about the spy, and then she's like, "Oh wait, this is actual real life."
Oh my god, that looks so good. Yeah, I see.
Right.
Now listen, that's an original concept, isn't it? Has it been done before?
Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell, but that's a different thing because it's more of like a serious thing versus Argyle. It's gonna be made for action and comedy.
Yeah.
They did my guy dirty though.
Yeah, I think it's different enough.
Yeah, I do too. It's refreshing. When I saw that preview, I just couldn't remember the name. When I saw the preview, I was like, wow, this looks intriguing. It looks different. It doesn't look super predictable. And the action looked good. The scenes look good. It didn't look like it was crappy CGI from what I could tell. So we'll have to see. But yeah. There's his haircut.
They did my guy dirty with this stupid haircut. I'm sorry. Look at this. This looks so bad.
It accentuates his chin though.
It's just a box. It's just
but my question is, like, he's supposed to be the hero of the story that she's writing, right?
So why would she
give him a haircut like that?
I know.
Why would she write that haircut? I don't get it.
I actually do want to see Echo. So hear me out. Let me listen.
Defend yourself.
Listen, Linda, listen.
One, the trailer looked pretty gritty, which is what I like about Hell's Kitchen characters. It looked like they're actually bringing back Kingpin to be actual Kingpin, not the pansy that I saw in Hawkeye. So I'm willing to give Echo a chance. I also like there's a little bit of representation of disability in this because there are superheroes who have disabilities, but it's really kind of cool to see it on screen. So I'm intrigued. I know gritty doesn't mean it's good, Mr. Tickle Trunks, but I am intrigued enough to check it out because I like Daredevil so much, and it kind of reflects it a little bit. I'm not saying it is. Don't hate me. Obviously, I would give an honest opinion on it, but I am intrigued. I would check it out. Now, would I check it out where I'm like sitting waiting every week to watch it? No, but if I've got nothing going on and I want to put something on, I'll check it out. Same thing I did with Loki. I just waited till everything kind of released and I just kind of a little binge here and there.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Tickle Trunk did mention Deadpool. I was very excited to see that because I loved Deadpool, but Disney has their hands all over it, so I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'm the same way about Daredevil because
I love Daredevil.
The one on Netflix was
oh my god, the one on Netflix, I loved that Daredevil.
Nadia intrigued on representation. She lost it. Yes. I'm big on it because I'm close to Danny from Comics and Cosmetics.
Yes.
And she right now is in somewhere getting a new leg attached, a new prosthetic leg. She also has a documentary and a charity going on for it that has been shared on Twitter. So I'm all for it, and I'm very excited because she's very excited to see like representation on screen finally for somebody who actually, it has I don't call it a disability because I think she's a rock star. I think she can do anything, but
a challenge. It's a challenge.
I'm very excited for her because she's very excited about it. So I'm like, you know what? Your excitement makes me want to check this out and support you in this. So I'm very, very intrigued. But yeah, other than that, and Deadpool, what else is Marvel coming? I mean, I know the new Avengers movie eventually, but Marvel, I think, is kind of, I think it's dead. I think people are kicking a dead horse. That's my
I
opinion.
agree.
Right now, so Jed and I are going through all of Marvel in chronological order.
Oh,
And we're just like watching these older ones. We're like, man, these were great. What happened? And I think it was the last one we did was Avengers. So I don't remember which one's next, but we were talking about it and trying to figure out like what went wrong, like what movie starts this whole like this is the trend downward. And like we haven't gotten there yet, but part of it, I don't want to put all the blame on her, but I think part of it is Pepper Potts. I thought she was insufferable in Iron Man 3. Like
Yes.
she's a complete boss bitch. And
Yep.
even in Iron Man 2, you see her getting,
yeah, she was a little
much
annoying.
more like above Tony and everything like that. And I think that's where, at least for me, I'm really starting to see this trend of men suck and women are better. And this gap
Interesting.
expanding and expanding. But like back to an earlier point that I think Sassy made of like Black Widow. And Nadia, I think you mentioned it too. Like Black Widow was such a great character, and she was, using she's like super strong, but not masculine. She is flexible and she knows how to maneuver her way out of situations. So just even in the Avengers movie, like how she recognizes she can't take on the Hulk, she's trying to calm him down. When he goes, full out, she just runs away.
Yeah.
She knows she can't take it on. So she's not going to like stand there and be strong woman and just like punch him and suddenly it like, cracks him and throws him back or anything. But I really loved that. But I think, at least for me, within the Marvel movies, I think Pepper is where it starts to go down.
Interesting.
Probably had a jaded egg up her wahoo like she does in real life the whole time.
Yeah,
You don't have one of her candles that smell like her,
I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say she probably has like some extractor up there so we can like suck out whatever scent is in there.
I mean, you got to think really full of yourself.
That's the first product Dames and Dorks is going to be putting out. A scented candle scented by each of us.
And it's going to be called Creme de la Creme.
Yes.
Perfect.
And you're just not going to, you're going to have to guess which scent.
Oh my God.
You
have to burn it.
Good money on that.
You have to burn it all the way down, and at the very bottom, it'll tell you who sent it. Really,
it'll be a picture of the person on the bottom of it. Yes.
Yep.
It was so stupid. Interesting. I would be intrigued. I would be interested in going back and rewatching now and seeing that. I could see that her. I mean, she's insufferable as a person in real life too. So
a little bit.
She had to.
You guys, she had to eat carbs during COVID. I mean, it was terrible.
The humanity.
Poor thing.
Yeah,
I just had carbs. I had Chinese food for lunch. So
there you go.
Fried rice and sesame chicken.
She had to eat bread. I felt so sorry for her. She related to the regular people.
I know.
Life is hard. God.
I really want to ask her though. Like, how do you keep an egg up there? Because they're like, what are they like about? Are they like this size, or are they smaller? I would assume it's like maybe this size.
Yeah.
But then you gotta like hold it in there. Does it come with like a string so you could pull it out like a tampon?
So let me tell you something really gross, and I'll try to keep it PG. So there was this girl on TikTok that I don't know how I started following her. She's a topless maid, and she sells popsicles made out of her vaginal discharge.
What?
And it's a little cup up there.
I knew somebody who was a dominatrix in Chicago.
She's a dominatrix
who used to make like cupcakes from it and stuff.
Yeah. Men will pay for it. And so she has a little cup that kind of looks like a half of an egg with an opening, and puts it in there, and then uses a syringe and makes popsicles. So there you go. That's how it's done.
I would just like to say to the chat, we are so sorry for any of you eating dinner right now or late night snack. We are so sorry.
So I was curious to see. It's tiny, but it would be lost up there.
Wait. Like, what the hell is this? Why haven't I seen this before?
This is the jaded egg.
I don't know anything about this.
You insert into your vagina.
For what?
From Gwyneth Paltrow owns this company, Goop.
Well, I know about Goop. Yeah.
Yeah, she this is something like she broadcasted. You insert this and you feel connected with your body by squeezing and releasing the egg.
What? It's called
Yes.
Kegels. Okay.
But here's the thing.
And I'm pretty well connected with my body. Thank you very much.
Here's the
I
thing.
thought you were talking about like an egg to catch something so she
No,
can make her
no,
gross
this is
candle.
like some like hippy dippy shit. But here's the thing. I know some women that egg would be lost. That'd be a lost up there. That'd be
Or
lost up
some
there.
women wouldn't be able to hold on to the egg if you
That-
catch my drift.
that'd be lost up there.
Yes.
You wouldn't be able to find it anymore. It's gone. It's
Wait,
gone.
and people buy that?
Yes, it's on. If you would like one, they're
Nadia?
$66.
Can we look at the
66?
reviews? Can we look
oh.
can we read the reviews? I really want to see this. I want to see
oh
what
my
people
$8 for
say.
an egg.
There's no reviews
You're
on
shoving
the
things.
website, but let me
course
maybe I
there's
can
not.
find them.
Because all the reviews are, I had to go to the ER and have your egg taken out of my hey nanner nanner because it got stuck up there.
No,
Yeah,
but
I
is it
tried
like
the
made out
goop
of like
jade.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no reviews on it unless you like go to people's like Tumblrs and stuff. What is it made out of? That's a good question. I would assume jade. It's a jade egg.
Yeah.
That's
That's why
probably
it's
why it's so
expensive.
expensive then.
Hippy dippy stuff.
You know how I feel in tuned? I have a bunch of like real crystal bracelets that have meaning and crap, and then you can put them out when the moon is out and you can charge them and stuff. I don't need to be inserting jade into my undercarriage.
I mean, don't
Wow.
knock it till you try it, I guess. I
This
don't
is why
know.
women have a bad name, okay, people? We're putting jade where it doesn't belong.
I think this is one of those things where you are allowed to knock it and not try it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I agree.
I'm like, I would never try it. Never in a million years. Nothing. But
Nothing.
I
I would
mean,
be intrigued to talk to somebody who, like, what do you do?
Yes.
Do you wear it in there all day?
Well, and here's the thing. If it's hard, that would be uncomfortable.
But it's only, like-
anything, you'd have
it's
to
like
sleep with it.
An inch and something, like it's not that, it's less than 2 inches in length.
Mm.
Which honestly,
oh, nothing happens.
a lot of guys can say.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry. I don't off topic.
Question: how do you take it out though? Like, does
You
it
just
have a
scoop it
string?
in. Scoop it out.
It's a slippery little thing too. How do you get that little slippery?
I'm telling
Exactly.
I
You're gonna
know
have to-
You can't grip that.
You're gonna have to dig for it. Ugh.
I know some women who it probably would be gone. You would never see it ever again.
Could you imagine you're laying on the bed and your husband walks in? What are you doing? I lost the freaking jade egg again.
I gotta get another one. You know what? I would love to know if somebody tried to do a challenge of going like, you know what? Let me see how many eggs I can stick up there.
Yeah, but at $66, how many eggs do you really want to buy?
Yeah,
I mean,
for
if you're
real.
bored and you got no kids and you got
That's
extra
true.
income, I'm just
I'd rather just get a real egg so I know it'll come out because
No,
it's like liquid.
You know, here's
yeah. If
Phil
I'm gonna
made
get a
good
jade
point.
egg, I'm gonna get I'm gonna stick something like this big up there. Like I want a jade egg. I can get my money's
But
worth.
what if you pee it out on accident and flush it down the toilet? Then you're out $60.
First of all, I didn't know if you knew this, Miss Sassy, but where you pee and your vagina are two different holes. It's
but-
not the
yes,
same thing.
But
Okay.
my luck, somehow I would piss it out and I would lose $66.
Oh, like if you're
down the
using
toilet.
those muscles, you know, when you
Yes.
do like a power one when you're in a hurry.
Sometimes I have no time. And
so
I'm like,
sorry.
"Pee
I'm
really
so
quick," and I
sorry.
go, like
Chat,
on a
I'm
stream.
so sorry. Nobody
I
wants
was
to
so-
hear
well
about
off the
I
rails.
was gonna say,
power
like, I like
pee.
that we went off rails on this.
You're welcome. I'll be a guest every week to get the show right off the rails.
Okay, we're back on rails talking about pee.
Can we make her a
Taika-
permanent panelist?
Taika Waititi won't be part if there's a Thor 5, and I say good.
Good.
I haven't even
liked-
seen Thor 4.
I've liked his
Good.
other, like his stuff, non-Marvel stuff is not bad, but people praise Ragnarok as like one of the best Thor movies, which it was fun.
Was that?
But he directed that. He didn't write it.
Yeah.
Oh.
He wrote Love and Thunder, and that was awful.
It's terrible.
Now
Like,
that's the
he-
one with Natalie Portman, correct?
Yes,
That's
yes.
the one I missed because I couldn't stand once again making her look strong while he looks like shit, right? Is that the premise of it?
Yep.
So it's based off, I believe it's Jason Aaron's comic of the Mighty Thor, where similar to the movie where Jane has cancer, she ends up picking up the mantle. There's a lot more to it. I'm basically giving like the iceberg of it, and then she becomes the Mighty Thor. In the comic, it's Thor is still there. He's not
okay.
as bad as the movie makes it out to be. Demasculating him. Making him not masculine, demasculine, whatever the word is. Anyway, so I didn't like it. My husband, however, did actually like it because he had an emotional connection to it, because the experience of her going through cancer and stuff like that was similar to when I was first diagnosed with my disease. So he has that connection with it, similar to like how you don't like Barbie, but I like Barbie because
exactly.
I was talking to Vex about this. She was like, "What? You like Barbie?" I'm like, "Yes, because of X, Y, and Z, these emotional connections." And she's like, "You know what? I can't argue that. I can't argue with you that because you've had an emotional connection to it." Right. So I'm okay with Taika Waititi going, but I'm not okay with a Thor 5 if they're going to continue to bash my guy and make him the butt of jokes.
Well, what would the fifth one be? Like, I guess I don't know how the fourth one ended, so I don't want to like spoil it for anybody, but was there something left at the end of 4 that could make a 5? Like, did they leave it open?
Thor has an adopted daughter who obviously is way more powerful than him, obviously.
Of course.
Jane's in the afterlife, and she potentially could be coming back. I know there's a storyline where she could be, but it was bad. It was bad. The stupid goats made me mad the whole time. It's Taika Waititi trying to do his humor again, and it's a one-trick pony kind of deal. Like, he doesn't land it. Similar to James Gunn for me. Sometimes James Gunn is really great. I think he's brilliant sometimes with his writing. Sometimes it's a one-trick pony where he's still trying to fit in those jokes that just don't work with his stuff.
Yeah, hit and miss. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And what do you guys think, Nomi, Dr. Rachel, on Taika out? Or the fact that there's going to be a Thor 5 to begin with?
Well, didn't Chris Hemsworth like say a while back like he's not going to do Thor if the right crew was hired? I'm assuming he's talking about Taika Waititi.
I don't know. I mean,
I remember that was like an article a while back, and I don't blame him because like that was an awful Thor. I was bored, and what you just said when it came back in, the jokes were unnecessary, and the fact that it was just over and over again. There was no dialogue to the movie, and that's like a weird thing. I know he didn't write, or I think he did help write Jojo Rabbit, but I liked Jojo Rabbit.
I liked Jojo Rabbit. I thought Jojo was really well done.
I actually cried because it was like I'm not going to ruin it for others, but I see Thor and his other movies that he's done is like, this is very off-putting. So I just don't think he's a great director or creative person. And he's out of touch. He's tone deaf. The fact that he went to Natalie Portman because he's supposedly going to do a Star Wars film. He went to Natalie Portman asking, "Hey, would you be interested in being in Star Wars?" when she was already in Star Wars.
Yeah, didn't even know she was in Star Wars. I'm like, you kidding me, bro?
Yeah,
what a nerd.
but this proves people who are in these positions do not really have a love for these IPs.
Yeah,
they're not fans. They don't. And I understand if she played a character that, like, she voice acted a character from a book that nobody read that's in the EU that's like 3 series in or something, but she was a big point of Star Wars. How do you not know this, dude?
Even I know that. Come on. I mean,
it's not like he's a Gen
toys
Z,
of
like,
her. Yeah.
I know.
I had the Princess Amidala doll. I had Natalie Portman as a toy. So like, how can you be so dumb? Like, and he's also like, what, not that much older than us? Maybe he is older. So like, he had to have seen it. He had to have seen it. He grew up watching it.
But he just didn't care.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
They don't.
It goes in one ear and out the other.
Yep.
And that's, in terms of like being glad he's gone, sure. But I'm looking in the chat, and I was going to say something. Lisa already said it. I thought Chris Hemsworth was stepping away from acting for a while.
I remember him saying that as well.
Yeah,
I
because of
think
his
he wants
Alzheimer's, like
jump
there's
in
a risk of
again
it or
for-
something, and he wanted to step away. And I thought that was interesting too. But then I thought that he was making another movie that was separate from Thor, and I questioned that too because he did mention he wanted to step away for a while because he was worried.
He does the I forgot what they're called. They're on Netflix. Extraction.
They were really good. Really
First
good.
one was good. Second one was like, oh, sorry. It's okay. It's all right. It's not fun. It's fun. It's fun. But it's all right. I think somebody said it in the chat. He would, and I think it was Max, Hemsworth would come back if they went back to attempting to do a more serious Thor than, again, him being the butt of the joke, the entire MCU. I don't know where, and I'd be curious, Dr. Rachel, when you find out at what point they decided to just dumb my guy down and just make him the butt of the joke.
They dumbed him down in the one. Where was the one movie? It was one of the Avengers movies where he was all sad and stuff, and he got all fat, and they had to like get him back. That I feel like maybe I'm missing something, but I feel like that's when they first started screwing with him and making him look like less than. And then I also was that the same movie where all of a sudden the Hulk couldn't turn into a Hulk anymore because he was depressed and he had to. Yes. It was like they made all these men sissies in this, and the fact that I did not get a lot of screen time with the Hulk pissed me off because I like the Hulk, and they dumbed him down too. So I think that's when they started screwing with.
To your point, Sassy, I think you bring up like the great thing. Like I didn't see Endgame yet, so there's actually quite a few that I still haven't seen. Don't worry, it's already been spoiled for me. I don't care. But I like what you said that they were like dumbing them down because like they did the same for Tony Stark. They gave him PTSD after like the first Avengers or something, but they did that really well. Like I actually liked his arc of like having gone through what he did, his panic attacks, working through it. And I think that did that really well. They should have, if they wanted to give Hulk PTSD and Thor PTSD and all the guys PTSD, fine. But they should have done it in a well-written way. Like they did.
No, it was in a comic, really cringy sort of way that actually made you not want to watch it. Like you didn't care. You were annoyed that you weren't getting the character that you were there to see. And it was more of a whiny, ooh, feel sorry for me versus, oh my gosh, you really are having these issues and you really were invested. You weren't. It was annoying and cringy. And and you know what I think too? I think, and my husband brought this kind of up too, where sometimes these comic book movies are way too much with the jokes and the jokes don't land. Like he mentioned that with like Guardians of the Galaxy. I know that's different.
That's where it started. It's the James
That's where it
Gunn
started.
Effect.
Yep. And the first one did well, fine. You know, I know Chris Pratt's character was jokey and all that, but it gets excessive where they take something that works and then they just beat it up and they put it every other line as a joke. And I started to see that more and more in these Marvel movies, and the Flash tried to do it and they just don't land very well. And they make these jokes at the inappropriate times. And I think that's also something that has hurt these movies is everything is just a friggin' joke now.
Actually, I don't think it was James Gunn. I think it's the Josh Whedon Avengers movie that started this whole like
probably
quick remarks comedy that just doesn't.
And every 2 seconds, 2 seconds, it's like you just got over one joke. We're throwing you another and another and another. It's like, you know, that's why that's why people still talk about the first Iron Man. My husband always talks about Captain America Civil War was like one of the best ones.
Oh, that's Chris's favorite movie.
That's Canoli's favorite
Marvel movie.
Too. Yeah, I mean, but those are the ones that didn't have all that quirky BS. It had a good story, and those were also one of the first 5 Marvel movies that came out, like Iron Man, and then those.
The reason for Winter Soldier that I like, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
If you take somebody who is a non-Marvel person, who's not a superhero person, and you just say, this is just a thriller, this is like a spy thriller movie to watch, they would enjoy it. Like my dad does not like anything to do with the MCU. but he watched Winter Soldier and he enjoyed it because it can adapt to, and I hate to use the term for normies who are like,
I was a
you don't-
normie. I
yeah.
liked it. I was a normie.
you don't
I was
have
a
to
normie
watch
going
like
into all of this. In the very beginning, starting with Iron Man, I like crap like that. I like Transformers. I like action movies. I like all that superheroes. So I'm all with that. Superman, Batman, what have you. I'm a normie when it comes to comic book stuff. I don't know the lores. I've learned over the years, but I went into Captain America Winter Soldier as a normie. I enjoyed it because it did cater to, did it cater to the comic book fans? Like you as a comic book fan? See, and then it catered to the normies. They did a great job of identifying both audiences, I think.
Well, the great thing about the first 10 years of Marvel is that you could have skipped a couple of the movies and still understand what was going on in the entire universe
Sure.
or
Yeah.
with the movie you're watching. And yeah, they would put little Easter eggs. So like if you did see Iron Man 1 and then there's like a callback in Avengers, people who did see it, but it didn't take people who didn't go back and watch the first 5 movies out of it.
Yeah.
And
sure.
the problem now with phase 4 is that everything has to lead into something else. And then you have a show that you got to watch so you can watch this movie, so you can read this comic, so you can watch this animation, so you can listen, I don't know, fucking listen to this podcast
Yeah,
and all that
no, it
stuff.
was a lot. It was a lot. It was overwhelming at times because that's the thing too, is like people would say, okay, I want to watch this movie. What do I need to watch beforehand? And we did the same thing as Dr. Rachel. We watched everything in order as they came out.
Mhm.
You know, we started from Iron Man 1 was the very first one that came out, but I've seen, now I have not seen Wakanda or Black Panther, whatever the hell. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen, and that was the very first one. So I don't really know anything of that lore. And then I didn't see Mrs. whatever the hell that first Brie Larson movie was. But so I do feel like sometimes I miss certain things, but you know, they do piece together well. So you should see some of them, but I guess you can skip some of the secondary ones. Like the first ones of each movie, I think you should see.
Mhm.
Just to get
So-
the character established, you know?
Yes. Now, breaking news here at Dames and Dorks. I was looking at our Twitter chat, ladies.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
And I guess there's a new movie coming out, and I don't know if I'm allowed to. I think I am. I'm partially brown, so I'm allowed to see it.
I can say because I'm fully brown.
Oh,
Oh, I know what you're gonna.
Yep.
Oh, what the hell is this? I didn't even watch the preview because I don't know if I'm allowed to watch the preview.
Oh, I saw the preview. It was on Twitter, and Jed pointed it out to me, I think, earlier today. And we just kind of looked at each other like, what on earth is this?
What is?
I'm
oh
like,
my
you know
God.
what? I need to share this out.
Read this.
Focus Features announces a new comedy from director Kobe Libby, The American Society of Magical Negros.
Oh, see,
I like that you put
that.
a little bit of R on it.
I like that.
Yeah.
The covers
Rolling
me
R.
to make sure, like,
Yep.
I'm really round.
Gravy's right. We're all canceled now. We're all canceled for
I
this.
can't read
well.
it, but can somebody give me a synopsis of what the hell this movie is about?
Can you like
It's hold on.
zoom in, Nadia, so I can like
I know.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry. I know we're all that age. Hold on. I think it's right here.
Mm.
Go ahead, Nomi.
Oh, The American Society of Magical Negros is a fresh, satirical comedy about a young man, Aaron, who is returned into a secret society of magical Black people who dedicated their lives to a cause of utmost importance in making white people's lives easier.
Oh,
Wow.
for God's sakes, you gotta be effing kidding me. This is a joke.
No, now, mind you, there has been an argument for years now of like, stop doing this to characters. Don't race bait. Start making your own stuff.
So
Make
this
your own
is
stuff
it.
on both ways. On both ways. So you know what? I don't blame them. I don't blame
Is
them.
this,
I
so
don't-
this
I
is
don't blame them.
something new. This is not from anything, right?
It might have been a book series. I'm assuming it was a book
So
series.
it's Black people who dedicate their lives to making white people's lives better. If this was flipped, would it land? Just want to put it out there.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
It would be racist if it flipped. I'm just saying that's what I hate about this shit. Yes, I agree. Come up with your own stuff. I respect that. It's just I don't know.
But you know what? I recently saw The Blackening.
Oh yeah.
Similar to this, like Mr. It's a parody. This could be amazing. Yes, I saw the Blackening. I think it's Blackening. It's a horror movie taking place on Juneteenth.
Okay.
I
Okay.
actually thought it was fun. It was
Okay.
fun. It was now. Was there a little bit of like racism towards white people? Yeah, of course, in
Sure.
joking ways. But
Yeah.
it comes back to your comment earlier, Miss Sassy, of like, why can't we make fun of each other? Why can't we take shots at each other? It's all in good humor. I actually would
Exactly.
recommend it. I thought it was fun. If you got nothing else to watch and you're hankering for a horror movie, it was cute. It was a cute little slasher movie. Comedy was great. But similar to this, Mr. Tickle Trunk might be right. This might be a parody on things and stuff. But
the article said it was satire, but
Yes.
satire has to be done in the right way.
Yeah.
yes.
Otherwise, it just comes off as preaching,
Preachy.
just
It has to be
pretending to be
tasteful.
humorous.
Yep.
But that title, man, that title like stands out.
Yep.
What does it say? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Dave
I do
Chappelle
remember.
is the Dave Chappelle show is the prime example of making fun of everybody, everything, and everybody getting along and enjoying it. Everybody's too sensitive with their media.
I am so
nowadays.
tired of everybody getting their feelings hurt all the time. If you get your feelings hurt all the time, go see Dr. Rachel. She'll talk you through it. I mean, seriously, people, grow a backbone. It's not going to kill you to laugh at yourself and let your friends laugh at you. Laugh with them.
Well,
just
this
joke about it.
This is a problem in D&D right now where everything is a safety tool or a trigger word or so. And my argument for this is that, yes, you can have tables that abide by this, but then you find that table that does, don't go to a table and change it to your recording.
Like, I agree.
If the other players don't play like that, then go find a table that plays like that. Stop pushing what you want. Like as soon as you interfere with other people's fun, such as like D&D, then it's over. Like that's it. So I wish people would stop being so sensitive and just realize like it's really easy. Don't watch it, don't read it, don't listen to it. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Switch to
If
something
I don't
you
like
like.
something, I don't watch it. It's simple as that. If you don't agree with something, why spend all of your time getting upset about it? Most recently, this whole thing with Bart Simpson getting choked by Homer, all of a sudden now,
God.
30 years later, it's an issue. If that triggers you, go to therapy, talk it out. Because
if that triggers you, you should have been spanked as a kid. That's my
But these people have nothing better to do, and they're not true fans of things. If they try to go in and change something, they never cared about it to begin with. They have nothing better to do. They're keyboard warriors where they just want to change things. I miss the days where we could all just laugh. And like, I miss the days of Married with Children and stuff like that. And even the original Will and Grace, you could never get away with that today. And it made me laugh so much because it was just unapologetic, funny humor.
Seinfeld is a prime example.
Yep.
I watch it literally every night. It's the thing I fall asleep to. I'll watch the whole series and then I'll randomly start on an episode. And Chris knows this. Like as soon as because he comes to bed after me, he has to turn it off. I'm watching as soon as Seinfeld goes on. It means I'm about to fall asleep. Yeah, I love it. It's so enjoyable. You could not make it nowadays.
No, because everybody would be offended about something, and it's exhausting. And I hate this world that we live in where it's just not funny anymore. Everybody has forgotten how to laugh. And that makes me sad because laughter is really, truly the best medicine. And we're all spending so much time being uptight and offended that we forget that we can laugh and have a good time. Yes, at each other's expense. But if I'm going to dish it, I'll take it. And we can just have a really good time. And I think a lot of us in this YouTube community can do that. Vex comes out as the brown girl and she's the diversity on, Cannoli's panel, and we joke about stuff. And Left Eye Ego, who's a black man, is married to a white woman. We joke about that all the time. They joke about it. We have a good community that still knows how to laugh, but I think people around us would be offended by our humor.
Oh yeah.
And that's really sad.
love people who are offended by my humor because my family is so diverse. I had a white mom, a Middle Eastern father, a black stepfather, a Mexican stepmother. I have siblings from all of it. So like the only thing we're missing is Asian. And so I grew up with all these people from all different types of backgrounds in Chicago. So like I don't understand what
you check every box then, honey. You're fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, So I don't understand why people are so sensitive nowadays. And to be honest, I think it's because my parents were very involved with me and my siblings growing up, even my step parents. So, and we were always told to like go make friends. And I never looked at people as like, oh, I have white friends or black friends. I just have friends.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But nowadays, everything is so like, it's weird. It's
Boxed.
kind of like reverse racism. Like we're going backwards.
Yeah,
Where
we
we're
are.
like separating people too much. We're like not having kids be kids anymore. It's more about like and it's almost like parents are using their kids as trophies. It's like, look at my kid, like my kid is, you know, trans or gay or
Oh,
something
I was
like
just going to say that. Yes, I
Yeah.
absolutely think that they want to be, and you see it a lot on social media too. Like, oh, my child, like I could have been huge on TikTok or YouTube or whatever the hell if I started talking about all this crap with my daughter and airing all my dirty laundry of all the stuff we went through. But I wasn't going to expose her like that. But parents will expose their children like that just to get the views, just to get
And
the
I-
attention. And it's
and-
not what it's about.
It's
I
not
talk
right.
about it now because we went through a whole huge struggle. And as a parent, I want to educate other parents. If your child expresses this and that, you know, what to look for. And I've been through it. She's 15. We started at 9. It's been a long journey. So I feel like it's great to educate. But I also raised my daughter that way too. Like her first best friend was a black girl. She never said, "Oh, mom, I." But I'll tell you, when I was younger. Now I'm 43 years old. Ugh,
You don't look it.
Thank you so much. But when I was about probably 10, I went and got my first Cabbage Patch doll. I loved Cabbage Patch Kids. Okay, and I picked out a Cabbage Patch that had. My first name was the Cabbage Patch's middle name. You know how they have names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had brown hair and brown eyes. And I was like, oh my God, I love her. She looks just like me. And I'm Sicilian. So, and my dad is like 3 shades away from being black. Like my dad is dark Sicilian. So I get this baby doll and I take it down the street to show my friend, my white friend from Chicago. She was from the Midwest. And she goes, oh, your baby doll's the N-word.
Well, then I didn't see
I
that
had to go
coming.
home and ask my mom.
Nobody else saw that coming.
Yeah.
I had to go home and ask my mom why my baby doll was the N-word, and I didn't even know what it was, because even though my parents absolutely suck and I don't talk to them and they're terrible parents, they never taught me about color because it's not important. It's not important. So I had no idea.
I'm all
But
about.
yes, the baby doll was black. I got her because she had darker skin, brown hair, brown eyes, and her middle name was my first name. And I didn't see color in the baby doll. I just saw.
But that's the thing. Like kids don't know. I mean, I don't understand when your sexuality, when your race became a badge of like your personality instead of actually being the person you
your
are.
sexuality and your race is now your identity, and it's everything. It's everything now.
I never understood that because I never made friends and go right off the bat like, okay, so who are you attracted to, girls or boys? Like it didn't matter to me. Like
because it wasn't a topic of conversation. And it's not like when you meet somebody, like all these shirts now, it says, you know, I'm a lesbian, I'm trans, I'm this, or the gay flag. Like I don't wear a shirt that says I'm straight. It's now that's how we identify one another, is through our sexuality, our gender, what our pronouns are. It's no longer who you are as a person. And that just kills me because I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care how you identify. Just be a good person. Don't be a jerk. And introduce yourself. What do you like to do? What kind of foods do you like to eat? What kind of music? I don't care who you go to bed with at night, but you shove it in our faces and you make it your whole identity. That's where I have a problem.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
That's how a lot of parents would like compete, right? When their kids were younger. It's like, oh yeah, well my kid just like won this karate trophy. Yeah, mine just got like first chair in a music thing. They talked about the kids' interests, their hobbies, their behaviors, how they were doing in school. Now it's, oh yeah, well my kid is in the middle of a transition. Oh yeah, well mine is like 4 months along in the transition. Mine is an ally, and it's just. There's all these things that, you know, should make up your identity, but don't anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's being
It's
broadcast.
no longer, it's what your pronouns are. Like even on a college application, they ask you for your pronouns, is what I've heard. And that shouldn't even be.
Well,
It shouldn't even be.
Disney just announced too that their employees now have to actually have their pronouns on their name tags.
What?
Or something. I thought I saw the news recently with that. You know, to be honest, I don't care if you put your pronouns on. If not, like you said, regardless of who you are, what you cater to, I 100% believe you. As long as you're a good person, that's fine. Like my best friend of since we were 13 is complete opposites. We are night and day. She is more liberal. She's like anti-cop, anti all this stuff. Like she's super like anarchist, like the whole 9 yards. And then you have me who tends to be more libertarian, Republican, more, Christian, that stuff. But yet we get along because we can have open discussions. And even if we don't agree at the end of the day, we're not yelling at each other or threatening each other.
Oh, it's called respect, which nobody has anymore for each other. It's called being an adult and having differences of opinions. And nobody's allowed to have differences of opinions anymore. And, back to the whole pronoun thing, there was this great video by a transgender person who has been transitioning since she was 13. And she said, I am so tired of all these people getting pissed off when they're misgendered. She says, honey, if you want to be misgendered, you better work for it. You better pass. If you want to come in here with a full beard and a wig and eye makeup and want me to call you a girl, it ain't happening. She's like, you got to try harder. And I respected that. You shouldn't have to have your pronouns on your badge. You should be able to tell by looking at somebody what you are. And I'm tired of these people, they, them and stuff too. It's exhausting.
Well, I mean, like my best friend goes by they, them. And to be honest, like if she asks me nicely, that's fine. But if I she gets it. Like, cause it's not something I'm used to, but I can understand like if somebody respectfully says like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I go by this, if you could please use it, but like, I'm not going to force, have a conversation about it instead of being upset about it. But that being said, we got off the rails a little bit here because this is not a political stream. It's more of the last thing I want to talk about. We got a few minutes. It kind of fits into what we're talking about. I know it was older news a couple of weeks ago, but I have seen it. Actually, South Park Panderverse was the first time I've ever seen South Park at all.
Oh wow!
Never have seen it. I've seen like snippets, like I know what it is and stuff.
Yeah,
but I've never seen a full episode. I thought it was great. I thought the going after Kathleen Kennedy was fantastic, which makes me think this whole thing of Marvel being in the news is to kind of distract away from her downfalls that South Park has shown in this satire.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen it? What do you think of it?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet. I'll get around to it. Girl's been busy. But yeah, I know like it was a hit. Everybody liked it. It got a lot of praise because from what I've been told, it hit the nail on what's going on with Kathleen Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Nail on the head.
The Force is female.
Yeah, put a female in it, make her lame, and make her gay. No one wants that.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Rey's not gay, right? From the Star Wars, because didn't she have a thing with Ben Swolo going on?
Yes. Yeah.
But
I
think.
Yeah, I think so too.
But like knowing Disney and Kathleen Kennedy, she's probably be like, she's actually fluid, or she's probably bi, so she goes both ways.
I'm telling you, I'm getting that shirt made where it says the Force is female, but make Marvel male again on the back. I want to combine the shirts because I want to confuse the fuck out of anybody.
Yeah, I would buy one of those in a heartbeat for sure.
You're like, what? Force is female? Oh no! Wait, make Marvel male again? I'm confused. I have nowhere idea where she lands. Oh no! I think Nomi froze. She's very stoic. You froze there for a minute there, Nomi, and you were very stoic. Dr. Rachel, have you seen it? You're fine now.
Yep.
And your thoughts?
I mean, I watched South Park a lot as a kid, so I know that kind of humor, and nothing in there really surprised me much in terms of like South Park went like way overboard in their jokes. I'm like, no, that's pretty South Park. But I thought it was fantastic. I thought the pacing was good, what they did, and even the ending. of it all. Of like, oh no, wait, that's not actually the real Kathleen Kennedy. This is the real one. But wait, the Disney execs are still listening to her in the whole thing of like,
man,
put a chick in it, make it lame, and make her gay. And then they start questioning, and then she just like puts the hammer down.
her jaded egg must be made out of gold, man. I'm telling you.
Yep. I thought it was fantastic. I kind of want to watch it again.
I do too. It's pretty funny to watch it. I really want to know the dirt that Kathleen Kennedy has on these people to constantly praise her and give her more money and give her more projects to be in control of, because I want that power. I don't forget it. I don't want to grow up to be an astronaut. I want to grow up to be Kathleen Kennedy. Be able to get away with so much shit and lose a company so much money and still be praised for stuff. Like 100%. That's who I want to grow up to be.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how they justify it. I really don't. And I wish I was a fly on the wall in those meetings to, like you said, Nadia, figure out how they do it. Like, how is she still on board? How can someone lose a company so much money and so much positive attention? It's all negative attention now, and yet they're still on board. It's got to be the only thing I can think of. Like, it's got to be something legal. It's got to be some kind of like contract.
I think
that's true.
I think she knows some of the board members' freaky deaky stuff that they don't want to get out, and I really do. I really think she's got blackmail. She knows some stuff about these people. She's seen people with like a goat or something, and she's like holding it over these people's heads. 100%. I really think so. I don't think it's
going to come out eventually. Anymore. Nothing is hidden. I mean, look at all the crap coming out about Will Smith. It doesn't matter how you try to hide it. It always comes out. So eventually these people are screwing themselves, because eventually it's going to come out, and eventually she's going to talk, or somebody's going to talk for her. So they're wasting their time.
Yeah, they're probably just waiting for blackmail on her that's even better than what she's got on them.
Probably. Yeah.
I think she's a lizard person, personally. I think she's a lizard person. Speaking of Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith is the biggest villain I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yep.
Like she is a horrible human being, which makes me very sad, because she's in one of my favorite movies called Demon Knight with I think it's Billy Zane in it, and it's a creepshow movie. It's very good. It's not very good. It's fun. I like her in it, but man, oh man, if I was Will, the kids are grown. Just dump her. Like, get it over with.
She's his beard. And she looks like a small boy, so it makes sense now. She looks like a dude.
Like,
it all makes sense.
She puts everything out there, and I'm like, girl, listen. Some things in marriage,
all I know is when Gotham was a good show until she came in, and I stopped watching it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think I stopped watching it before she came into it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it with her, but yeah, that whole thing too. So if they've learned anything, the secrets will always come out sooner than later. Just let her go, air your dirty laundry, and let's get back to good movies and TV shows and whatever.
Mr. Chickletrunk, you are correct. Demon Knight is about the heroes using the last bit of blood of Christ to like protect the doorways from the demons that are coming, and Billy Zane plays like the lead demon. It's really it's a kooky little, like, it's fun.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, sure. And she's in it. She plays the heroine in it, and I like her in it. But man, oh man, she is becoming 2023.
She's hateable, man. She is hateable.
Oof. All right, so we are at the hour, or a little past the hour. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and listening to us talk about jaded eggs and kind of candle scented stuff. Please make sure to like, subscribe, share this stream as well. And hit the notification bell on Inside All Day to catch with any future Inside All Day stuff. We just dropped our True Lives first watch video. We're going to be talking about anime in our next one. Chris and I also do a live stream called Clickbait, where we share funny videos. You know how couples send each other like millions of TikToks, but you don't watch them. So what Chris and I decided was, like, we'll keep them and we'll share them on screen for real life reactions. So we do that as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm also on the Salty Nerd live stream sometimes as well. You can catch me there. But on that note, Nomi, tell the people where you are, who you are, what you do, everything.
Well, I'm currently sick. I was thinking I can get mute myself before you transitioned over me, but it's okay. I have a channel. I have a channel called Just Know Me Without You. It's just me. I do lifestyle videos. The last video I did was making a cake for my friend, and I'll be making another video for this coming Monday. So I'm on Twitter, and that's where I'm most active at. And I'm usually on streams over the week, but I'm going to be. If you see me retweeting it, that's where I'll be.
Where will you be? Because you came in and out again.
If you see me retweeting things, that's where I'll be. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
My internet's so janky.
All right. Dr. Rachel.
So obviously I'm Dr. Rachel. You can see me all the time on Twitter and sometimes Instagram at Sauron_cosplay. I have a YouTube channel. It's a lot about art stuff, any kind of cosplay things I do, any kind of art creations I make. I will have a video coming out next week to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. So all you Whovians out there, I know BBC is not putting out anything on the actual anniversary because it is Thanksgiving, even though that shouldn't matter to the BBC. But I will be putting something out to celebrate Doctor Who on the actual anniversary. So be on the lookout for that, and that'll be my next video. I see you up there with some sonic screwdrivers, Nadia.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, I'm a who. Well, yes. Matt is my favorite Doctor Who, but we can do that later. And our guest of honor, Miss Sassy. Tell the people, where can they find you next? And then we'll also shout out Vex's thing again as well.
Sure. So I have a YouTube channel as well, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch, and you can find me every Sunday there at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I guess, what is that? 11 Mountain Standard? I don't know the time change. I don't know it, people. No, Mountain Standard. So it's 12.
You're an hour ahead of us. So
Yeah, okay.
Mountain time.
Yeah, it's Mountain Time right now. So 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Every Sunday I do Mrs. Sassy Sunday stream where I just get sassy and talk about all the things from the week, stuff like Will Smith. I didn't even know Gwyneth Paltrow had a jade egg, but I guess I need to educate myself a little bit more. So I usually do about 2 hours on a Sunday. So if you want to come and hang with me, I also do a podcast once a month on the first Friday of every month called Truly the Female Perspective with Vex Electronica and my other co-host, Shiro. And we just have a female perspective on all the crazy things going on. And tomorrow night, you can find me over on Cannoli Sasquatch's channel for Cannoli Connection that we do once or twice a month. Tomorrow night, our guest is Lofty Pixels.
So I love Lofty.
I know. And I'm looking forward to getting to know him a little bit better. So that's over on Cannoli's channel. And also, just to finish up, Vex Electronica's GoFundMe. I know the link is in the description. You can read up. I have a whole description of what's going on with Vex. We're trying to raise some money to help her with her legal funds. So anything you guys can contribute would be amazing. And thank you so much for having me tonight. I had a blast. This was so nice to hang out with the ladies.
I would love to have you back on, especially with the full panel once we get Mags and Lily back. I would love to have you back on.
It's easier now with the time change. So right now, while the time has changed, I can make myself available. So absolutely, anytime you want.
And speaking of Vex, Vex will actually be on our next show, December 14th. Am I right? Yes, December 14th is our next Dames and Dorks show. So she will be on there with us as well. So it'll be exciting to hear her. Oh, hold on. I got to guess spot. Lily.
Lily.
Hey, you guys. Sorry, I sound like crap.
Oh, it's okay.
You're okay.
Into the last.
Yeah, we're about to clear up. Lily, tell people who you are, where they can find you.
I just saw that. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I barely got out of clinical right now. She let us out early today. We didn't have that many patients. So
awesome.
I was like, I'm going to pop on and see if they're still alive just so I can at least say hi to everybody and say hi to Sassy.
Hi, Lily. Good to see you. Or good to
I'm
hear
so
you.
sorry to miss the show today, but hopefully you'll be on another day. So
Yes, we'll talk. I'll talk to you, Miss Sassy. We'll talk about having you back on in a couple weeks.
Anytime.
Love to. Yes. All right. So, Lily, do you want to tell people where you're at before we end this stream?
I mean, well, they know here with you guys every 2 weeks, and then of course, I'm pretty sure. Did Nomi already go?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, some of the streams with Nomi on Monday and Friday. So just there. Sorry, it sounds so horrible. Oh my gosh, I'm barely getting over this.
Oh,
You're
I hope
fine.
you feel better.
I
Well,
don't
then
feel anything. It's just my voice.
It's okay. It's all right. It's got like a smoky, sexy
Yep.
tone.
It does,
No,
it does
not
sound
at,
good.
not at all. Oh my gosh, it sounds so bad.
Sophia said you had phone sex voice going on.
No,
Exactly.
Yep.
far from it. Oh my gosh, no. The patients keep telling me like, poor them. Like, I lost my voice almost completely yesterday. They couldn't understand me. And then what's funny is that my preceptor was also sick, and she couldn't talk either. So they couldn't understand either of us. So you can imagine the patients were like, really? How are we supposed to like understand what you guys are telling us to do if we can't even understand you?
All right. Well, on
So,
that
yeah.
note, chat again. Thank you everybody who has watched. Catch us again. December 14th, we'll be with Vex. And have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.